TETRA is actually growing. It's gone from being a standard that was really born out of Europe to being a totally global standard. So what we're seeing is that in the last 5 years, we've added 57 extra countries that have adopted TETRA. So their needs and their requirements are now having to be catered by the TETRA community. If there was 3 main areas that we've seen recently in terms of what's driving TETRA and the changing requirements, one is lone workers or single-man policing, so it's about safety. A lot more safety-driven requirements for TETRA itself. The second area is the actual requirements to do more with less. So as we see fiscal climate changing for many of our customers, trying to get the best utility out of their existing TETRA deployments is a big requirement for them. And the third area is about the future. What about the future proofing of the networks and all about mission critical broadband data? So TETRA users today use data in 2 ways. They see data as being either mission critical or service impacting. So what is service impacting is data that helps them be efficient, but should they lose it, it doesn't really mean too much to an emergency incident. So some of that data is being used actually on commercial networks. Increasingly, those data is being moved onto mission critical networks because they're learning that certain key applications are now mission critical for requirements. Such examples are simple things like database lookup, imaging is another one, and even now some of the report writing they want to keep online even during a major incident. That data is being moved onto TETRA either through single packet data or to multiple packet data, MSPD, multi-slot packet data. And now we're going to see the move towards TEDs, and what you're seeing now is the infrastructure being deployed that is fully TEDs capable, so that again we're beginning to future-proof them for data. So that provides a wide-band solution for data solutions. So if we go back and consider that key trend of safety itself, and particularly more patrol officers going out on their own, they have to have the capability of being able to, when they hit that button, get a message straight away and receive a message straight away. So TETRA is becoming even more of a lifeline than it ever was before because the usage of policing is changing. So we fundamentally redesigned our products. So when customers ask us what's new at TETRA World Congress and Motorola, we've got lots of things going on, but one of them is the launch of this radio here, the MTP3000. What we've done here is vastly improve the audio so it can be heard over some of the loudest noise environments, again providing that connectivity and safety, and we've gone beyond the normal specifications for what we call receiver sensitivity. We've added 2 dB extra sensitivity, which means a 14% increase of range. So from an officer's perspective, that alley they used to go down, that in-building environment where they didn't have coverage, they may actually have coverage right now. But we've taken a look at the radio and looked at all the fundamentals of that radio and some of the ergonomics in there. So we've designed a radio now with a very, very strong connector on it, take 40-pound brake strain on there. And what we've done with that is also looked at the ergonomics of it. Beforehand, these types of connectors require 2 hands to remove them. Now, and 2 hands requires 10 seconds of time. Now, we can do it with 1 hand, non-dominant, and release in 2 seconds. So that's a big, big change. And when you think about fire officers who are in the back of fire trucks, fire engines, and when they're changing and getting dressed up to go to the incident, it's only when they're in the truck they know what incident they're actually going to respond to, and they choose the accessory they have to have. Normally they have the 1 hand holding onto the side of the truck whilst they're kitting up, so that 1 hand usage is absolutely essential for them. So again, it's about those small details that drives actually the performance and safety of the TETRA portfolio. So this is really redefining what TETRA radio should be in the marketplace. So TETRA World Congress this year has been really about talking about those 3 areas I mentioned before: safety, do more with less, looking at more efficiencies and systems, but one of the big talking points is about the future and the future of mission critical data. So we're proud to be talking about LTE, which we believe is the mission critical technology of choice for broadband. We've deployed that now in the US in LTE deployments in a number of areas, and actually we're showcasing one of the first LTE devices for public safety, the Alex 700. And that's really going to be the vanguard for us in terms of public safety and broadband. But the big to-do for the TETRA community is to come together as one and provide a plan for harmonized spectrum across Europe and other parts of the globe so that we have one frequency band that the whole community can use from and then enjoy the economies of scale that come from long-term evolution.